Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Wednesday, the 5th day of June. It is, Apple II Day. It's what day the Apple II computer came out.
All right.
Hot Air Balloon Day, Love Island Day, National Gingerbread Day. Seems like a weird time of year for that.
It really does. That should be more
Yeah.
Christmas.
National Veggie Burger Day. Maybe they're putting it this time because they want you to know that it's not just for Christmas. That's probably
be.
why. Sausage Roll Day, National Attitude Day, Runner's Day, Tailor's Day. What else do we have here? Oh, Veggie Burger Day. A lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff today. And I've got a guest joining me. Speaking of delicious foods, we have Rob Dunn. He is the author of a book called Delicious. And he's got a program, a docuseries on Curiosity Stream. It's called Taste, the Flavor of Life. And they reveal how deliciousness unites us with animals in kind of surprising ways. So we're going to chat with him all about that coming up in just a bit.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
At bettercreditcards.com.
to bettercreditcards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Researchers at the California Institute of Technology say that they have achieved significant results in tech advancement that basically can read your mind.
Oh, great.
Yeah. For years, Caltech has been working to create devices to aid patients with speech and nonverbal disorders. A new study showed strides in brain-machine interface to read a person's thoughts and translate them into words for all to see. Signals read from the brain, signals read from the brain, were converted into a text into real time. The team wrote that it can capture neural activity associated with internal speech and have those words said within the mind, so no associated movement or audio output is needed. So it's
I would not want somebody to be able to read my thoughts.
It's like mental telepathy, and we already have that. There are so many times I'll look at you, and I'll see the look on your face, and you can see the look on my face. I know what you're saying, and you know what I'm saying, and we don't have to say nothing. That doesn't make for good radio, though, so we usually say that. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by bettercreditcards.com.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years, and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that the television was invented only 2 years after the invention of sliced bread?
I did not.
Yeah, so the TV is only 2 years newer than sliced bread. Up until that time, people had to rip the bread apart apparently, or cut it themselves or something.
I'm sure they cut it.
You think they cut it?
Most likely.
Yeah,
Yes.
so then it was already sliced. Somebody was like, oh, you know what we should do? We should slice this before we sell it. And then they say it's the best thing since sliced bread. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. Pat Sajak getting ready for his final week on Wheel of Fortune.
Wow.
43 years
I
he's been
know.
the host.
It's hard to imagine that show without him, though, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been giving folks a little behind-the-scene glimpse of what happens there. And he's doing a thing this Friday, I believe is when it says on Friday, and I think it's this Friday. Behind the Puzzle Board is what it's called. So it's actually kind of a cool thing. There's a lot more going on back there than you would realize. And there's a link if you want to see the whole story. And Ellen DeGeneres is embarking on one last hurrah in her stand-up career. This summer, the 66-year-old comic will embark on a 27-date North American tour titled Ellen's Last Stand Up. She calls it the last opportunity to witness her do her final curtain call. So that's kind of cool. And I loved her as a comic.
Phenomenal as a comic.
80s and 90s, I remember so many funny stand-up comics, but she was one of them for sure. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com. This is interesting. 16% of us have missed work because of an acne breakout or a blemish.
Oh, I've
never.
No, that is ridiculous.
I remember one time I had something on my forehead and it turned into a giant mess. And I probably shouldn't have gone out in public, but I did. And then you'd see people and they'd be looking at your forehead the whole time like, I don't know what I did there. I probably shouldn't have touched it. I should have just left that alone. I have a scar. It's right here. It's there forever now. So, yeah. I've never missed work, though.
No, you still go to work.
Yeah. And scientists have long known that crows are smart. Did you know crows are smart?
I did not.
Oh, yeah, they're really smart. Crows can actually talk. A new study suggests they have the ability to count out loud, where they can actually speak like 1, 2, 3. I don't know, however a crow would say it. That is the first for an animal species other than humans, by the way. Live Science is who's doing the reporting on this. Scientists rank the out loud counting ability of crows to be on par with human toddlers. That's how smart crows are. Researchers worked with 3 crows and found that they could reliably count to 4 with their claws. With their caws. They added the birds could likely go higher if needed. So I'm not sure that they're going to start an accounting firm anytime soon, but it's pretty neat.
Huh.
And there's some famous crows. What was the guy's name?
There's some famous crows?
No, Edgar Allan Poe. And that was the Raven. That's what that was called. But I think a raven and a crow, aren't those the same thing?
I have no idea.
You're not a bird
I'm not
expert?
a crow expert.
There are people out there who know more about birds than you? Really? All right. I'm going to just move on because now I feel as though I've said way too much. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Excited to visit with Rob Dunn. He's the author of Delicious, The Evolution of Flavor and How It Made Us Human. And he's the host of a new docuseries on Curiosity Stream, Taste, The Flavor of Life. First of all, Rob, that sounds like one of the best gigs ever. This looks like a fun show.
Such a good gig. I mean, to travel around the world and eat good foods with chefs and scientists and look at other species eating, I highly recommend it.
It is a good gig if you can get it, and you got it, which is awesome. And the thing that's really neat is it's not just trying food, it's tasting it and then also kind of understanding why. Because there are things that we love, but this kind of talks about why we love them, doesn't it?
It does, and it sort of repositions humans in this bigger story of life. Because the truth is, you're choosing foods as a function of their taste, but so is your dog, so is your cat, so is a crow, so is a house sparrow, so even as an earthworm. And so, it resituates us to remember that as we look around us in the living world, that pleasure and flavor and within it taste are guiding us all. And so I think it's a richer view of this life.
Well, and since I've got you on the line, you might be the perfect person to ask this question. Are taste and flavor the same thing, or are they different things?
In different languages, they're different. So in Danish, they're the same word, smag. In English, taste is the taste receptors on the tongue, and so it's sour, bitter, umami, sweet, salty. And then flavor is that encompassing experience, and so it's taste. It's also mouthfeel, and so that's the texture. So when you eat avocado, that smoothness, that's mouthfeel. And then it's smell, olfaction, which is, everything we eat, that smell is an important piece. And so flavor is the encompassing experience, and taste is the taste receptors.
Well,
but we don't always use them that way on a day-to-day basis.
Well, you just helped me solve something that I've struggled with since I was a child. Growing up, I did not like onions, and my mom would cook with onions. She said, just eat it. You can't even taste them. And I said, then why do you put them in? And she would say, for flavor. I'm like, Mom, that doesn't make sense. But apparently it did make sense. So that's cool.
Yeah, moms know things.
So this program, Taste, The Flavor of Life, it is a docuseries. How many episodes are there, and is there more to come, or where are we at on this right now?
There are 2 episodes now dealing with two elements of taste, and there's more than about flavor that could be to come. But the first 2 deal with taste, and the first one thinks holistically about our ancestors and which taste rewarded them for what, and then the second episode deals with our preferences and our aversions and how they relate to what our ancestors tended to need.
Very nice. And I'm going to throw a trailer so folks can find the trailer, and I'll throw a link for them to find it so it's easy for them to find. Let's talk also about your book, because this book did well, and it did so well that they said, hey, this is the guy for this job. So Delicious, the evolution of flavor and how it made us human. How long did it take to put that together, and what was the inspiration to write that book?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I was trying to think. So in some ways, my wife, Monica Sanchez, is the co-author, and in some ways we've been writing that book for 20 years. Because what it is really thinking about across species how important taste and flavor are and how they've guided animal species in general, but particularly humans and human evolution. And it really emerged from conversations that we had over dinner with other biologists, other anthropologists. And we found that almost always if you ate dinner with these folks, they'd talk about flavor and its biology and its anthropology. But it was sort of this secret cabal of knowledge. And most of what we talked about wasn't really being shared with the broader audience. And so the book was really the effort to share this story that was sort of secretly being chatted about flavor and deliciousness and pleasure and taste and how important they are. And as you mentioned at the beginning, it was a super fun book to work on. Lots of time talking to chefs and, meeting with people who's chemists and, great gig if you can get it.
Well, that sounds fantastic. And I am going to throw a link to the book to make it really easy to find the book. And also, I'm going to throw a link to the trailer and make it easy to find the TV program as well. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it a bunch.
Thank you so much, John. Have a great day.
Again, our guest today is Rob Dunn, and he's got a fascinating new docuseries on Curiosity Stream. It's called Taste, The Flavor of Life. And he also has the book, and we're going to have a link to all of that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Whether you have a credit card now and need a better credit card, or if you don't even have a credit card but you'd like to get a good one, we would love to help at bettercreditcards.com. We offer a variety of credit card options to fit your needs. Whether you want a card to give you cash back or points and perks, or a credit card to help you build your credit, we can help you find a good fit for you at bettercreditcards.com.
Give yourself a little credit
At bettercreditcards.com.
to bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There was not a single pony in the Pony Express. They were all horses.
Okay.
No ponies. But the Horse Express just didn't sound good, apparently.
Okay.
I don't know. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The temperature on the Earth's interior increased by 1 degree every 60 feet down. So the interior increases by a degree every 60 feet you go deeper. That's kind of weird. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The volume of the Earth's moon is the same as the volume of the Pacific Ocean. So there's a... I think
Don't
they
know
mean
how
volume.
they know that either.
I
but
think they mean the volume like as in size, not as in how loud it is.
I kind of figured.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A ball of glass will bounce higher than a ball made of rubber. Really? I thought it would just shatter. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Black cats are considered unlucky in a lot of places, but they are considered good luck in Britain and Japan. Yeah, several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
So how do you like these gas prices? Not great, huh? How would you like to save money every time you get gas? I've been using this app for a few years, and it's amazing. You can find out more at radiosavings.com. When I first heard about it, I didn't think we'd have this in our area, but they seem to have stuff all over the place. You can sign up for free and try it for yourself. They have savings on gas, but on many other things too, like restaurants and convenience stores. Try it for free at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com. Question, Heidi. 25% of couples have gotten into a fight over this at mealtime. What is it? Oh, we have.
Expiration dates?
No. That too. Stealing food from someone else's plate.
Oh my gosh, you do that all the time.
We were at a fancy dinner the other night, and the lady next to me quit eating her food, and it was sitting there, and I looked at Heidi, and Heidi shook her head no.
Don't you dare.
It's like, don't you dare. Do not ask her if you can take the rest of that.
You're going to eat that?
It was good. It was good stuff. I just waited till everybody walked away, and then I starved for them. All right, Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com.
Do you have a mobile phone? How much do you pay every month? If that number is more than $15, it's time for a Mintervention. Mint Mobile makes it affordable and easy to switch. Get a new phone or bring your current phone. At Mintervention.com, you can see the current special offers from Mint Mobile, offering premium wireless for just $15 a month. That's far less than most people are paying, just $15 a month. Learn more now at Mintervention.com. That's Mintervention.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. It seems that Vulcan is not a real planet after all. In a little plot twist.
Was there anybody confused?
Well,
by
here's the
this?
thing. In a plot twist worthy of the iconic sci-fi show Star Trek, the planet thought to orbit the star 40 Erendi A, the fictional home of Mr. Spock's planet Vulcan, appears to be nothing more than an astronomical illusion. A new study using NASA's NEID instrument has confirmed that the planet's astronomers believed they discovered this planet back in 2018 around this distant star system, but they said, you know what? It was just a mirage caused by the star's own pulses and jitters. Possible detection of a planet orbiting the star, made famous by Star Trek, caused excitement when astronomers revealed that their findings, this was 6 years ago, they revealed all this, and everybody was so excited. Now NASA says their precision instruments seem to have returned the planet Vulcan to the realm of science fiction for good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's too bad. Weird news, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. As you know, trying to keep up with today's slang can be difficult. Terms like riz and buzzin' and do it for the plot could sound like a bunch of made-up words to somebody outside of certain demographics. You know, cool kids like me. So in an effort at pranking his students, a teacher made up a bunch of slang words and shared them with his Gen Z students, and some of them are now catching on. Sam Salem, a millennial high school teacher, started a series on his Instagram page called Gaslighting My Students with Made-Up Slang Words. So far, he's posted 7 videos with words that he invented, like pebbles, parked, and Getty. His first video got like 765,000 likes, 9,000 comments, and it was shared 383,000 times. It started as a joke. This new vernacular, though, is becoming popular outside of the school where he teaches. Some NBA players are even using some of these things. So I'm going to share the list tomorrow. I've got the full list in the show notes for today, but there's some really funny ones on here. And if you want to see, I've got a link to the story. I've got a link to all of it. But it's just a guy who made up a bunch of words. And some of these are actually pretty cool. So we'll do the list tomorrow. I was explaining it today. And again, I've got all of this listed in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. Comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote is from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Love that movie.
Yeah, Jim Carrey played Ace Ventura. He was a pet detective. It was a movie in 1994. And here's his quote. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer. I have used that quote so many times. Usually while Heidi's in the car waiting for me and I go in knowing it's going to take far longer than 5 minutes. Heidi should use that when she goes shopping. It's going to take 5 hours. Quote of the day comes your way courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. And there's so many good news stories. I never really even know which one to read, but I think we're going to go with this one right here because it's a pretty cool story. Heidi, my gorgeous bride here, is not on TikTok, so she's not a big TikTok fan.
No, not even a
But
little.
this includes TikTok. It comes from Costa Mesa, California. A 75-year-old homeless woman has her entire life transformed because of a TikTok video that went viral. Her name is Linda. She had a life-changing transformation thanks to the power of social media. This journey began when a TikToker by the name of Jimmy Darts shared a video of his encounter with Linda, and she was living in a tent at the time. In the video, Darts approached Linda and asked if she had anything for him to eat. Even though she's homeless living in a tent, she offered him food, and she gave him extra. Touched by her kindness, he discovered she was homeless. To show his gratitude, he surprised her right there with $1,000 that he gave her on the spot. Well, that's not where the story ends. Then he turned to his millions of followers on TikTok. He launched a GoFundMe campaign specifically for Linda. And in a short period of time, over $44,000 was raised to help her. And when it was all said and done, it was like $46,000, I think, is what they came up with. And she's now living in a van. So she purchased a van. So she's got mobility and a place to live. And she said she was just amazed at how amazing this is. And again, there are people online who get really, I'm trying to think of the right word. They get like defensive, or it's not defensive, but they don't like these type of videos where it's somebody doing this, quote unquote, for the clicks. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing I look at. They could do dumb things for the clicks too.
Right.
Because I see that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So
at least this is doing something good.
Something amazing. They're helping people in need. And I think that's really cool. I do have a link to the story if you'd like to see it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.